When you go through ritual abuse, they break your bones. Every single one of them. When you're born into a generational SRA family, the abuse has to be hidden so that you can keep living your front life without detection. If you're trafficked at the national or corporate level, they have access to technology beyond your wildest comprehension. If you have a strong intuition that your bones are broken, but x-rays and MRIs are not showing anything, you are not wrong. They have technology to heal the major visible fractures, but leave the microfractures and the traumatic energy of the event itself so that the fractures won't be detectable by above ground imaging. They do this to further torture you, incapacitate you, and discredit you whenever you try to tell somebody. For me, my pelvis was the worst one. It was completely shattered by traumas that I cannot talk about explicitly on here. I've also experienced degrees of starvation up until pretty much last year. So healing has been kind of slowed down because of it. But it is significantly better than when I started. So the two components to healing broken bones and microfractures are the energy work and nutrition. I have found that eating frozen custard has actually significantly sped up the process for me because it has protein and nutrients and calcium and dairy, and it's supercharged to help you regenerate both your bones and your lymphatic system. I wasn't even expecting that. I was just following my intuition, and my intuition was eat frozen custard. So I was all right, I don't know where this is going to take me. But yeah, it ended up speeding up the healing of my lymphatic system too. Also, standard healthy stuff like leafy greens are also going to help. But anyway, your pain is real. These imaging techniques that exist above ground are at a lower level than the technology that we actually have. And these doctors are purposefully manipulating you to hide the fact that SRA is so prevalent. You're not crazy. So here's the energy healing sequence. It is fairly simple. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Come into an awareness of the bone that you believe is broken. And imagine it either hovering in front of you, or you can just put your awareness on wherever that bone is. So I'll just use my upper arm for this demonstration. I like to picture the bone hovering in front of me. So what you want to do is imagine that the bone is heating up to super, super high temperatures that would melt the bone. And I actually don't even know if that's real or not, but it's let's pretend that it is. And what we want to do is look for any breaks. And if you can't see them, feel for them. So any breaks that you see or feel. And as that bone heats up and we're melting it, we're going to melt those fractures together. Just like if it's clay and it's you've put water in the clay and it's nice and wet, and when you press it together, any seams just kind of meld into the rest of the clay. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to melt all of those fractures together. And if any of the bone is it's twisted or shattered out of place, just gently push it back into place and then melt that fracture back together. Now, once you're finished with that, what you'll want to do is pop the bone out energetically and see it disappear. And you'll want to project a image that is a copy of that bone, but in crystalline form. And we're going to replace that bone that we just disappeared with a crystalline version. So we'll snap that back into place. And now take that image, if you've been working in front of you, grab it and deposit it into the area of your body that you're working on. And then you'll want to send pink light through that area of the body. Just soak it in, that healing pink light. And let that new crystalline bone incorporate into the rest of the structure of your body. So let's do that a couple more times. Bring up the image of the bone that you'd like to work on hovering in front of you. Heat up the bone until it's at its melting point. Melt together any fractures that you see or feel or sense. Push any pieces that are kind of like misaligned or broken off back into place, and then melt those fractures together. Once the bone is nice and whole, pop it out of your energy and see it disappear, and replace it with an exact replica made of crystalline structure. Now we'll take that new copy and put it into your body. Send pink light through that area of the body and just soak it in the healing so that it incorporates back into your body. And let's do that one more time, this time without talking. There we go. That's simple. Try it out and let me know how it goes.